The town of Kennett Square is a very culturally diverse community. Our community is primarily made up of Caucasian and Hispanic families. Kennett is known as the mushroom capital of the world and is home to many mushroom houses and farms. Many Hispanic immigrants from Puerto Rico and Mexico have traveled to the U.S. in search of a better life for themselves and their families. Mushroom farms in Kennett Square employ many of the Hispanic immigrants. Most of the adults have limited reading and writing abilities in their first language of Spanish, making adjusting into the English-speaking world difficult. When the children are of school age, things can become very difficult. Many of these young students have heard limited English before entering kindergarten. If they have an older brother or sister who knows English, their transition seems to run smoother. Just imagine if you are a parent or think of a child close to you. Sending them off to kindergarten for the first time can be very scary. Imagine sending your child who only speaks Spanish into an English-speaking school environment. I am sure this experience can be very stressful for parents and children. Teachers need to be aware of this when teaching in the Kennett Consolidated School District. Teachers need to express concern as well as compassion for these families. Communication is key. Everything that goes home with the students needs to be typed in English and in Spanish. The school offers an ESL program for students who speak limited English. This service has grown greatly over the past 5 years and has been very successful. Kennett Library does offer ESL classes for parents. As educators, we should make sure our parents are aware of these programs and make sure they have the information needed if they choose to attend. Even when the student is able to read and speak English, the parents and caregivers at home may not be able to. Teachers should also make sure parents are familiar with the Spanish Health Ministry. This program helps Spanish-speaking residents get the medical care their children need. Most immigrants have only one car, or sometimes no form of transportation at all. This organization helps to make sure that the students get to their medical appointments. One thing I noticed was Kennett is really lacking in the transportation department. We do not have a bus system that runs through town, helping people get to where they need to go. This really limits those who need transportation. The Kennett community does an amazing job in providing resources to parents who have very low incomes. The schools have a program called Blessings in a Backpack, which sends a bag of food home with certain students every Friday. Other services offered in the Kennett area are the Kennett Food Cupboard, and a local church takes clothing donations. And every other Saturday, parents can go and get free clothing for their children. Teachers need to be aware of these services and help educate those in need to make sure students' daily needs are met. One of the biggest challenges I see with the Kennett community is there is a major gap between low income and the wealthy. Yes, we have many middle-class families too, but I see more lower and upper-class families creating a big divide. This is something a teacher in our community needs to be aware of and willing to treat every student and family the same, no matter what their financial situation is. Children just want to be accepted. They don't want to be different, whether privileged or not. In the classroom, it should not matter if you are rich or poor. All students are the same. Kennett has a food program which provides breakfast, those in need, which helps students start off their morning in a good way. One of the reasons my husband and I chose to live in the Kennett community is because of diversity. We love the fact that our children are growing up among different cultures. While working in the schools, I see absolutely no divide between the students. They all have great relationships with one another. However, I quickly noticed outside the classroom our two cultures rarely intertwine. The Hispanic families attend one church, and the Caucasian families attend another. Even sports. Very few Hispanic children play organized sports for the community organizations. There is a disconnect, and it can be felt. I think we can all do a better job at engaging and communicating with each other. As teachers, we can bridge the gap some by just talking about the different organizations with our students and their families and making sure they all feel a part of the Kennett community.